Hello everybody, welcome to part 35 of Let's Play Earthbound. In the last part, we finally got to summers after a long delay in winters for some strange reason, and I accidentally tried to walk into the museum without paying. No, I don't want to pay because the museum is kind of boring so far actually. Blah 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 blah. And she wants to exhibit us in the museum instead of us seeing things in that museum. But actually, this museum is not really going to be that important until later on in this game. But what I want to do now is the next thing we have to do in order to advance the plot, since I don't want to dawdle much more, is go into Club Stoic. Now, Club Stoic is a members only club, so we have to call ahead in order to get into Club Stoic. So let's call Club Stoic because we got the number for it from that guy in Toto back in part 34. So let's call Club Stoic.
Hello, this is the Stoic Club. Oh, Mario, sir, would you like to make a reservation? Certainly. We are looking forward to having you here. Thank you. Beep, beep, beep.
And I made that person sound really crazy because the Stoic Club is where all the crazy people hang out. It's where the crazy people meet on the streets. I heard that in a song. If you wish upon a star, there's the place, Club Stoic. Yeah, there's this song in Mad Taxi. An easy Mad Taxi. But yeah, that song that I just sang is actually Club Bizarre by U96, I believe the artist is. I remember listening to that song, and based on the lyrics and everything, it reminded me very much of Club Stoic. Because this club is very bizarre, to say the least. Let's go inside and check how weird it is. So, it looks like any other club so far. We have a whole bunch of people standing around and talking to each other. Let's see what some of these people have to say. I finally awakened the inner me, the true self. The patrons of this club are able to stare into their own soul hard enough to burn a hole in their psyche. I am now comfortable enough to stare at the real me, the true self, and burn the impression into my super ego. I want to be in this comfort zone at any time, all the time, or at no time. My id is telling me. Your id. The id, you know, is the part of the mind that controls our basic urges, like our need for food, and our need for sleep, and our need for basic satisfaction. If we can't get no satisfaction, then we behave like the Rolling Stones and sing about it, right? But anyway, that is just a taste of how weird the people in this club are. Let's see what this guy has to say, this unassuming local guy. Didactically speaking, seminal evidence seems to explicate the fact that your repudiation of entropy supports my theory of space-time synthesis. Of this, I am irrefutably confident. And that guy is probably the father of Sheldon Cooper, I would imagine. What do you say? He kind of talks like Sheldon Cooper, we're sounding all pedantic and all. And I bet if we listen to him more, then he'll act like he totally has an IQ of 187, and that he is totally arrogant, and everything has to be done according to his special needs. But anyway, let's see what the other people in Club Stoic have to say. You guys can't envision the final collapse of capitalism? Incredible! The final collapse of capitalism. Yes, that is definitely in our future. See, this game has so many interesting theories about the future.
I think it's a very complicated issue. Sorry, I was sleeping.
Sleeping? What? Are you high on some sort of weird drug or something?
The show! It already started! Everyone stares at the stone on stage and philosophizes. Doesn't it sound stupid?
Yes, that is exactly how weird this club is. In fact, let's see what talking to the stone does. No, I don't want to talk to the annoying girl. I want to talk to the stone. I want to get stoned. I want to talk to the stone. But anyway, that stone on the stage there is the central focus of this club. This club is so weird that it apparently has some secret magical powers that everybody has to philosophize about it. Which is actually a pretty cool club. Why don't they have any clubs like this in real life? Seriously. I mean, only the most intelligent, weird people would stare at a stone and philosophize. This is a club full of the coolest people you will ever meet. Or at least the coolest people I will ever meet, because these are the only type of people I hang out with, which is why I don't have many friends in real life, because in real life there are not very many people like this, eh? What does this guy have to say? You know, I really want to eat some magic cake. It's a mysterious work of art. I can't get that cake out of my mind. There's only one woman who can make magic cake. And I think she's the wife of somebody who lives in Toto, right? She's hanging out at this club. Yeah, she's over there at the entrance. You mean the very first girl that I talked to? Oh. Well, she never even mentioned Magic Cake, but I guess now that that guy mentioned it, I guess I could just talk to that girl again and she'll mention Magic Cake all of a sudden. But let's see what this guy who mysteriously looks like Mr. T has to say. You don't understand what the hey everybody is talking about, do you? Well, actually, I do. Everybody is looking at a stone and philosophizing. What more is there to talk about? Because when you look at a stone and philosophize, then everything you talk about doesn't make any sense. Well, actually, it makes perfect sense. This is the place to come up with exciting theories about how the world works. This is the place to come up with the most valuable wisdom the world will ever see. This is the place to totally feel a sense of self-achievement, to feel that you're 1,000 times smarter. This club, whoever designed this club is a genius. I don't either, but I try to be patient with customers. They pay high prices just for a glass of water and the chance to have serious intellectual discussions. Actually, it's an easy business. You want a drink? We only serve water, though. Well, actually, that's the thing about water in this game, is that water, for some reason, restores PP. Water apparently amplifies psychic powers in this game. Is this game weird or what? But let's talk to this girl who apparently sells the magic cake. Because what is Club Stoic? But everything I mentioned that happens in Club Stoic also happens when you're really high on a hallucinogen, like mushrooms or LSD or, well, even marijuana. Even when you're high on marijuana, you have highly philosophical visions like this. Of course, I only know that because I've done it myself, but anyway, let's talk to this girl. I finally awakened the inner me, blah 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 blah. I finally awakened the soul, blah 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 blah, blah blah blah, dibbidi dabbidi doo, bibbidi bobbidi boo, bibbidi bobbidi bibbidi bobbidi bibbidi bobbidi boo. Magic cake! You come all this way just to eat my magic cake! I don't know what's in the magic cake. What is in the magic cake? Is it I don't know what kind of drug is gonna be in it, but actually, since it's a cake, it's probably going to be infused with pot, right? That's what I'm guessing. I don't know, or maybe even something worse. I don't know, I'm almost scared to eat this magic cake. This is reminding me of the time when I played Mother 3, and we got to the mushroom samba part, in which we had all these crazy hallucinations and everything. Does this mean we're gonna enter Moonside again? I certainly hope so, because I kinda miss Moonside. Let's try the magic cake.
Let's go to Moonside. Let's go to Moonside. Let's eat the magic cake. Whee!
I see. Okay, wow, you people are weird. Why don't you stop by a little cart out on the beach later? Oh, you maybe don't even get it now? Okay, that's a downer. I mean, magic cake would have been much better to eat now rather than out there on the beach. You don't know how crazy taking hallucinogens on a beach is. No, I've done it before, and actually it wasn't that bad, because the last time I got high on the beach, I was basically staring at the ocean waves, contemplating about how the ocean was the birthplace of all life, and marveling at all the wonderful organic matter that's in there, all the plankton, because plankton is really what makes the ocean green, and And we're probably gonna have to fight this taxi, too. Hey, we snuck up on it from behind. And we got an automatic victory because we snuck up on the taxi from behind. What do you know? Well, that worked out in our favor because I want to eat this magic cake really soon. And I believe once we eat this magic cake, something really important will happen. So I'm really excited about it. Even though I have no idea what's in it. But anyway, where is that lady who sells the magic cake? It's not at the Sanchez brother. I know that much. Come on, where's the magic cake? There's that weird guy who wants to get a tan on the palm of his hand, which, as I mentioned in the last part, is impossible. Come on, where is the lady who sells magic cake? I totally want some magic cake. Ever since I left Club Stoic, I've been craving cake more and more. Unless we find out later on that the cake is a lie. Yeah, I bet the cake is a lie, right? We don't even get magic cake. You see, I'm walking around this beach and I don't even see the place where there's magic cake. That is just an ordinary woman and— blue people! I don't think we saw this cop-looking guy before. Who is cop-looking guy? It's an overzealous cop. Gee, I wonder how much tougher he is than the tough guys back in One It. I mean, the cops back in One It. Wow, gee, I still remember when we had to fight all those cops back in One It. That's like one of the most memorable moments of this game. But I'm gonna have everybody use physical attacks because I don't think these guys are too hard. And yeah, that tough guy only did 15 damage, despite how tough he looks. And that cop is just on guard for some reason. I don't know why that is. Yeah, your attacks are just gonna do 15 damage anyway, so I doubt you're gonna do very much. See, these people are not very hard to defeat at all. That cop didn't even do anything in that battle. He didn't even attack. And the tough guy, when he did attack, only did 15 damage. But where's the lady who sells magic cake? Well, gee, is this gonna take forever? Is this just gonna take forever to find? You know, I might have to pause the video if I'm just gonna be walking around here searching for the girl who sells magic cake. And we're already like 10 minutes into the video. That's interesting. If you listen to this theme long enough, you can actually hear seagulls and other interesting beach sound effects in the background. Maybe it was that girl in the pink who sold the magic cake. Maybe I just passed right by her or something. In that case, I'm probably gonna have to use like the magical fast forward button in order to get to the other side, because you can't run in this game. That's one useful feature that they added in Mother 3. One thing I'd like to say about Mother 3 versus this game, Mother 3 of course being the sequel to this game, is that why is there a mole on the beach? Yeah, that is the improvement that Mother 3 makes on this game, is that why is there a mole on the beach? But anyway, one thing that they improved upon in Mother 3 was that they added the dash feature, where you could hold down B and then let go, and then you dash, and I don't feel like fighting another tough guy, and we'll probably have to anyway. Okay, this is really weird. I don't know why I'm not finding the magic cake person. I guess maybe right now I'll just kind of stop the video until I find that person, and I'll let you know what I do. So I'll just walk around right now and try to find that girl. Oh wait, here she is. If she wasn't actually on the beach, she was by the beach. She was on the boardwalk, I guess you could call it, or the beach side, or whatever, but here she is. I don't know who told you. You came far off just to eat my magic cake? Well, I came from Club Stoic, technically, because before Club Stoic, I didn't even know about magic cake. I thought making cakes would be the best career for me. Well, I guess this means that the cake is not a lie, unlike I thought, but then again, this game did come out before Portal, when that saying basically came into fruition, yeah. Dig in! Uh-oh, we're digging in. Here it is. We're trying the magic cake. Let's see what's in it. All the leftover materials. This is a very special magic cake. Very special. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Oh my gosh, that does not sound good.
Are we dead? Are we dead? Well, you had a dream, and it was a very clear and a very strange dream.
This is gonna be trippy, I bet. Are we gonna go back to Moonside? Are we gonna go back to a very twisted version of Want It? Are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go? I don't know. Let's see. I believe an epic part of the story is gonna take place. We're in a place that's floating on top of the clouds! I bet there are pink elephants wandering about in here, but actually this is a country called Dalam. It is in the Far East. I guess this is the equivalent of either India or China or someplace in the Himalayas, I bet, is what this is a parody of. Look, you have this very Middle Eastern palace at the top with elephants on the side, so it's probably a parody of India, if anything else. The Palace of Toad, the Crown Prince. This is where we see Toad! You see, this is the first time we ever see Toad. Look, there's Toad right up there, sitting in his throne. And I can make a save state just for the heck of it. Prince Toad, the time has now come for you to undertake your final trial. But before we go on with this conversation, I want to mention that yes, that is Toad, sitting in the throne. Wait, we actually got to name Toad right at the beginning of the game, along with everybody else, but this is the first time that we actually see him in the game. It took us 35 episodes of this game to get here, and now we're finally seeing Toad. Go to the place of emptiness and endure this final test. I am praying for your success at this final stage of your training. And I should be speaking in an accent because, as I said, this is a parody of India, right? But yeah, listen to this music. This music sounds kind of like a combination of Indian and Chinese, mostly Chinese, I bet. So I'm guessing this is a parody of both India and China. I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing anyway. This music sounds faintly Chinese anyway. Maybe it's a parody of, like, Tibet or something, which is, like, right in the Himalayas. But anyway, let's talk to this guy. Use the treasures of Dalam as you wish. Go in peace. Let's see what's inside these. Ooh, are these treasure chests? Yeah, these are treasure chests. Well, gee, they're not presents, they're just treasure chests. One of the charms of Earthbound was that instead of the standard treasure chests you get in any RPG, you get presents, but these are just ordinary treasure chests. And what's in it? And it's, whoa, brain food lunch inside. Wow. Brain food lunch, that is actually a very useful item. Let's see what Toad has in his inventory. Well, he has a tiny ruby, he has a bottle of water, which, as I mentioned before, restores PP. And then this brain food lunch. Brain food lunch restores both HP and PP, so it's very useful in a tight spot in a battle. But let's check out Toad's status. Right now, Toad is at level 15. Well, gee, he has a long way to go if he's going to catch up to Mario, Peach, and Luigi. but he has pretty good stats overall, and like Mario and Peach, he can also use Psy, as you can see at the bottom. So let's see what Psy he has. He has PK Freeze, Alpha and Beta, PK Thunder Alpha and Beta, he has Life Up Alpha and Beta, Healing Alpha and Beta, he has Shield Alpha and Sigma. Now Shield Sigma is, I think, a spell we've never seen before. Shield Sigma basically equips everybody with Shield, not just Toad himself. And he apparently has nothing else, he just has these Psy things. But one thing apparently Toad is famous for using Psy, and I guess he's the only one here who can use Psy, even though this is such a trippy place that theoretically everybody should be able to use Psy. But let's see what's on these other treasure chests before proceeding further. And it's a cup of life noodles, another very useful item, and I already mentioned what that does. I don't remember when though, and what's in here? It's a brainstone. I don't remember that. What's this? What does the brainstone do? I forgot. A miraculous stone that enables you to concentrate without using your own brain. This is accomplished just by letting you keep this item. This is great because if you can't concentrate, you can't use Psy. Oh, I see. This is an item that lets Toad use Psy. I wonder what would happen if I gave this to Luigi, actually. Would he be able to use Psy if I gave him this stone? I bet he could. I mean, I know the Brainstone says that you don't even have to use your own brain to use Psy, but Luigi has a pretty great brain anyway, so I bet he should be able to use Psy. Although, I don't know, maybe his mind is too logical and scientific in order to use Psy. Although I don't really believe in that. I believe science and magic can coincide. That's one of the beliefs that I have, which is great. And I guess it kind of makes sense, because if you look at Chrono Trigger, which is another RPG, there's this one character in there named Luca who is into science, yet she can also use fire magic. So see, science and magic can coincide, and they will coincide, so I don't know, maybe I'll try giving the Brainstone to Luigi and see what happens. I don't think anything will happen, but just for the lulz. But anyway, here's this guy with a phone on his head. That thing on his head is a phone, believe it or not. Is that you, Mario? Why are you disguising your voice like that? Who are you pretending to be? Is that Mario's dad? Oh well, it's not a big deal. I suppose you need to have a sense of humor at a time like this. Why you blah 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 blah, and I guess that is our dad, blah 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 blah, and we're gonna save our progress here because I can't think of anything else to do. Blah 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 blah, overly talkative dad. But anyway, let's check out what else is in this palace. So Toad is apparently the Prince of Dalam. Let's see what this lady has to say.
Prince Toad, you're my favorite.
Oh, that's cute. That's the thing about Toad, though. All the ladies in Dalam admire him for some reason, even though he's totally not my type. I really like guys with ponytails, but I kind of like it when they have hair on the rest of their heads, too, not just the top. What is immortality? Is it everlasting life? Okay, I'm having really fun making these Indian accents for everybody. And in fact, the rest of Dalam, even though the music sounds faintly Chinese, everybody looks like they're Indian, especially this guy here in a turban. Wait. Okay, that was weird. I don't know what that guy said, but that was weird whatever it was.
Oh, Prince Toad, I'm surprised you're not in training. It seems that's all you do these days. Why don't you take some time to play with me? I'm so lonely without you.
I don't know how I'm doing on my Indian accent, but since I am half Indian myself, I should be able to do the accent well, right? Please come in. Look around the house as much as you want. Ah, but here's a treasure chest here. Let's see what's in it. It's a bottle of water. But the other thing about Toad is that he is more responsive to PP restoring items than usual. So a bottle of water will restore only like 2 PP for Peach, for example, but about 10 or so to Toad, I think. Let's see what this girl has to say.
Oh, Prince Toad, do you have time to play with me?
No.
Oh, I knew it. Training changed you. I'm jealous of your training.
But that's another thing about Toad. He's in training to master his Psy abilities. And just like the stereotypical person who practices meditation, he refrains from eating too much and he focuses on his mind and everything. But that's the thing about Toad, is that food items, conversely, do not restore as much HP as they do for everybody else for Toad. So a hamburger, for example, will only restore like 6 HP rather than 40 or whatever normal amount it restores. So Toad basically recovers HP only by life-upping rather than by food. And he can restore his PP with water more easily than anybody else. But let's see what's in this house, I guess, since we still have kind of a little time. I'm probably gonna have to stop the video soon.
I just roasted some garlic and ate it, so the root still stinks.
Actually, I like the smell of garlic, so it doesn't really stink to me. But right now, I guess I'm just gonna wander around Dalam some more, and
I heard that Prince Toad is deeply into mood training. I want to help him if I can.
mood training. You mean he's training to become a cow, right? But yeah, that's the name of Toad's training. It's called mood training. It's the training that is needed to enhance his psi. And why are there bunnies guarding that door over there? Let's see what's up with them. As strange as this may sound, there are statues of rabbits walking your way. Yes, as strange as this may sound, this game totally lampshades the fact that it is strange on its own. Wow, this game is awesome. Can you believe it? But anyway, we are over time. We are over 20 minutes, so I'm gonna have to stop the video now. So stay tuned, everybody, for one of my favorite numbers, part 36 of this Let's Play of Earthbound, in which we will explore Dalam even further.